Hello, my friend. My name is Dr. Orfali, and I am internal medicine doctor, and I am advocating keto diet, which is low carb, high fat diet. And I'm advocating and promoting this diet. It is not because of the benefits that we get with the weight loss, but because of too many other health benefits that we get out of this diet. And I have been a internist for the past 25 to 30 years, and during my career I met too many patients that are really suffering from a lot of problems that mainly related to the problem with their diets, with the food they eat. And I can tell you that the modern medicine has improved greatly, creating new medications and new procedures, which had a big impact on the progress of medicine. However, we still have a large amount of people that are dying every day because the main issue, the main problem, the metabolic disease that created all these diseases has not been addressed properly. And for this reason, I think if we correct our diet and adopt this way of lifestyle, which is the keto diet, we are going to benefit a lot in terms of health, as well as a guaranteed gift that comes along with this lifestyle, which is that we don't have to worry from now on about our weight, because our body is going to regulate the proper weight that we should have all the time. And I would give you an example: is the thirst. Whenever we are thirsty, we are going to drink water. We are going to drink as much as our body tells us to do so. It is a very precise mechanism that is controlled by our brain. And the same thing is the food. Why nowadays we don't know how much we should eat and when to stop eating, and why we keep accumulating extra weight, for instance. And because this mechanism is not is not working, is not functioning. And this is not functioning because of our diet. The diet that we are taking is making this mechanism not to work and to stop working. And so back to the thirst, motivation, and whenever we are so thirsty, we are going to drink water just enough, just to satisfy our thirst, and then we will stop. We haven't decided how many cc or how many milliliter of water we have to drink ahead of time. And the same thing, whenever our body has the same precise mechanism concerning the food. And I will be telling you in these small talks on this YouTube channel about this diet. So I will start today talking about the mechanism of hunger and how it is corrupted with our modern diet. Normally, whenever we eat and we have enough food, the fat cells will produce a hormone. This hormone is called leptin. And this leptin is going to go in the blood and go to the brain, to a special center to tell the brain to stop eating because the fat cells had enough food. Unfortunately, this leptin, this message that is delivered by the leptin to the brain is blocked because of because we have a very high insulin level in our blood. But why do we have this high insulin level in the blood? This is because of the diet that we eat, because the modern diet, unfortunately, it has a lot of carbohydrates. And carbohydrates, what they do, they just tell the insulin to produce, tell the pancreas to produce a lot of insulin in order to metabolize this load of carbohydrates. And normally, if we eat a modest amount of carbohydrates, the insulin is going to produce normal amount of insulin. The pancreas is going to produce normal amount of insulin, which will take care of this small load of carbohydrates. However, if we are constantly eating large amount of carbohydrates, this will put the pancreas under stress, and it's as if we are telling the pancreas, by eating that much carbs, to produce more insulin and more insulin in order to take care of the carbs that we are eating. And whenever we do this, we are constantly having elevated insulin level in our circulation, which will eventually cause blockage of the receptors in the brain for the leptin. So the leptin, which is produced normally by the fat cells, going to the brain to tell the brain to stop eating, is not going to work because the insulin level is elevated, and that will prevent our brain to realize when it is good time to stop eating. And because of this, we continue to eat and eat more calories and more food, which is eventually going to accumulate in our body. Of course, also the insulin is not only going to block the leptin from working, but it is the hormone that will help the building up of fat in the body, because it will the insulin is the hormone that it will take the blood sugar, it will take the sugars in the blood into the cells, and then convert this sugar to fats, because the cells is going to use some of this sugar as a source of energy, and then whatever left over is going to be turned into fat in the cells and accumulate there. And also the insulin is going to help fat to enter the cells and stay there until it is used later. And since in the dictionary of the modern diet, there is no later when we are going to need to use our fat storage, this fat is going to stay there in the cells for a very long time, and that's how we get more and more obesity. So this the only way that we could break this cycle is to reduce the carbs in our diet. And our diet currently, the modern diet, the Western diet, it has a lot of carbs. It is almost 55% of our calories comes from carbs, and that caused major drastic problems in the lives of the patients. And because this created what we call it metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome, briefly, is the elevation in the insulin level to too many folds. And in fact, you will be surprised to know that the insulin level could be 20 times more than normal with people with metabolic syndrome than other people without metabolic syndrome. And this elevation in the insulin cause constant shifting of the fat in the body to the fat cells, and constant accumulation of fat, and constant making of the fat out of the carbohydrates that we're eating. And of course, if I ask anybody that, let's say, let's take an example, the thyroid hormone. If your thyroid hormone is doubled, do you think your body is going to be normal? No. The hormone is very strong mechanism that will control the circulation and the metabolism and the consumption of nutrition in our body. And so imagine that your insulin level is 20 times more than normal. Do you think your body is going to be normal? Of course not. And the only thing that will make this insulin double and triple and becomes 20 folds and more in our body is the high carbs diet. So I'm going to talk to you more in the future about this diet, about this lifestyle, in fact, because I'm not advocating this diet because of its benefit for weight loss. It is not something that you do for a short period of time until you lose weight and then go back to the high carbs Western diet. It is not like that. It is really something that you need to adopt for life, and that's just to maintain a very good health. Thank you very much for listening to me, and if you have any comments, don't hesitate to put it down there, and we can communicate together. Thank you.